Hallelujah. The most defined word in life. Just this word that every human being who passed through the surface of this earth must define. Either consciously or unconsciously. It doesn't matter whether you are educated or not. As long as you have this breath of human in you, you must define that word. And this most defined word in life is life itself. After Adam disobeyed in the Garden of Eden by eating the forbidden fruit, men started defining life. Because the blueprint of life handed over to man by God fell into the hand of devil. And so men began to define life based on life experiences they have. Some people tend to define life based on their experience, based on emotions and feelings. Others tend to define life based on their own life experience and what they go through per time. According to Berlusconi, the former prime minister of Italy, he said, if life is a man, life will be a black man because life is not fair. So people tend to define life to be sweet if they are on the mountain, and others tend to define life to be bad if they are in the valley. I once met an 11-year-old boy in the former school I taught. This boy was so close and attached to me. One dramatic thing happened in the life of this 11-year-old boy, and that was this dramatic thing changed his life and his mentality, and that was the death of his father. The news about the death of his father came to the school, and it was a shock to everyone. So people were so sorry for him, and those that hated him changed their mind towards him. On the day this boy was going for the service of song and the burial of the dad, so I asked him, I said, Moses, when are you coming back? He said, sir, it depends on what life holds to me. That was so shocking to my bone marrow. And while I was to hear that from an 11-year-old boy, and while I was thinking about that, trying to compose myself and digest his response, I went further to ask him another question. I said, Moses, what does life hold for you? He said, sir, we don't know about tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow holds for us. But if my father did not die, I will not or wouldn't be leaving school. I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. But whatever tomorrow presents to me will determine if I will come back to school or not. By this time, my emotions were high. Blood were rushing fast through my heart. And there was silence between us as we walked through the paths that lead to their house. And so I went further to ask him a question again. I said, Moses, how did you see life? He said, sir, life is bad. I said, how is life bad to you, 11-year-old boy? He said, sir, life is full of pains and sorrow. There's no true happiness in life. Even the little happiness we have is but for a moment. And pain exists in the life of humans. And I was so shocked. And by this time, my heart was bleeding and crying. And I went further to ask him. I said, Moses, what if God gives you one supernatural power? What is that thing you want to do? That one thing. And he said, your guess was right. He said, just to bring back my father to life and spend the rest of my life with him. And that marks the end of our sad discussion and no more questions from me. While the service of song was going on, Moses was so dull and quiet. And while I was thinking about the discussion we had earlier that day, tears started dropping from my eyes. And the only thing I could say to Moses was that, may the Lord hear thee in the days of trouble. May the name of God of Jacob defend thee. May he send thee help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. May he remember their tears and accept all thy supplication. May he grant thee according to the request of thy heart and fulfill all thy requests. After the service of song, I went back to school, hoping and waiting for the day Moses would come back to school. The first week passed, I did not see Moses. The second week passed, I did not see Moses. The third week passed, I did not see Moses. He has not returned to school. The fourth week, the fifth week, the sixth week passed, Moses was not in school. But on the seventh week, I put a phone call through to the mom, and I said, hello, ma. But she was quiet. She was silent. I said, good afternoon, ma. And she tried to respond quietly to me. And I said, ma, when is Moses coming back to school? She said, Moses is no more coming back to school. I said, ma, why? She said, Moses has gone. I said, I don't understand, ma. Moses has gone to where? And she said, Moses has gone to the other side of life. He died 3 weeks ago. And all of a sudden, everything, the whole world stopped moving. And everything seems not to be moving again. And I started wondering, why would life be so cruel to others and full of fun to some? And then it came down on me that you will get from life exactly what you put into it, either physically or spiritually. Life will be either fair or unfair to you based on how you are able to manage life factors. And it's important for you to know that in life you need to choose a side. Is it that you go with a man who maketh rich and added no sorrow, or you go with a man who is full with lies and deceit? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, papa and mama, this life is full of pain and sorrow. Is it how you're in one problem today, or just coming out of one problem, or about to enter another one? And the only way to survive this wave of life is to stay in the secret place with the Most High God. My name is Alpha Wesley Samuel. I have defined life in my own way. What is your own definition of life? Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Wesley. Life. Life. The only definition of life is Christ. And those who don't have him, they're living, but there's a difference between living and existing. They're existing, right? Yeah, they're existing. But those who have life are those who live life. You say, I have come to give you life. And do what? And give it more abundantly. So there's a one who gives life, who owns life, who is life himself. And that is Christ. A lot of time when we were very small, we wonder why those who don't have Christ are really doing well. You know, it took me time to understand the difference between those who don't have Christ are making it, and those who have Christ are making it. They are two different things. You have Christ, you will not only make it here on earth, you'll make it with distinction, with a difference, and then you also have a place for you in heaven. But they can make it here on earth through every means possible. But I assure you, they will come asking for water, for a drop of water, just like Abraham. Just like Lazarus was asked of water by the rich man. I pray you will not fall in the category of those who will beg for a drop of water in the last day. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, celebrate Wesley. Coming up right about now is the moment we actually have been waiting for. You're going to hear more from him. The one who put all this together with his crew is nobody but Olorun Moteni.